Welcome back to the Talking Mug. Usually out and about, seeing where the conversations take us. But today, I'm keeping it close to home. We're diving deep into the reality of a stay at home mom. Yes, those parts that can be messy, beautiful, and sometimes exhausting. The guest today, I have had the privilege to watch her grow from a little girl into the incredible woman that she is today. Also, to watch her fulfill and dive into that full time mom position. I would like to welcome my daughter, Kylie Vigas, to the show. Thank you, Kylie.
Yes, thanks for having me.
So, I just have to tell you, we have done like probably
12.
12 takes before we got this one. And I didn't even get to do the whole spiel that I have. But that's what this is about, right, Kylie?
Yes.
It's about unfiltered, real stories. So I just had to let you guys know that,
Bear with us.
yeah. So again, thank you, Kylie, for being here with us.
Yes.
So tell the listeners what it's like or who you were before you were called mama.
From an early age, I've always been into artsy things and being an artist and drawing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always been a big part of who I am
Yes.
before kids and even after. And then I got into playing tennis when I was 7, and that continued up until I graduated high school. Then went to college where I met my husband, Eric, and we both studied graphic design. So again, I kept that artist with me there. After graduation, I had a job as a graphic designer, and then while I was working, became a stay-at-home mom.
Got pregnant with your first,
Yes.
with Klaus.
Yeah.
So you worked full time while you were pregnant and everything like that. It had to have been a very hard decision for you and Eric together to make that decision to be a stay-at-home mom. Can you give us a little bit more insight of how that decision was?
It started with me. Eric wasn't completely against it, but I know just the way the world is, it's hard to have a one income family, especially bringing in another human. But I had wanted to stay home. I kind of had that desire in me even before I was married, before I even was old enough, Even as a kid, I always knew I just always pictured myself home with kids. So something I always imagined. And then when that time came, I brought it up to him. And at first he was kind of like, no, like we can't survive with
financially. Right. Yeah.
And so when he made that point, though, that was when I started looking at numbers and stuff, financially and stuff, and what I was making yearly and stuff, and what the cost of daycare was, especially in the area that we live in. I would have been working just to cover daycare costs.
Right.
And to me, and obviously not everybody has that same, ability to do that in their life. But once I showed Eric the numbers and he was able to visually see as well that like we would be paying for somebody else to not raise our kids, but like take care of them throughout the day. And what I would be doing would literally just to cover that, like
just to pay for those people to watch.
Right. Yeah. It just, for us, it just didn't make sense. So then we both together decided that I would stay home.
Right. Yeah. And again, not a easy decision to make because going from a 2-income family to a 1-income family, I'm sure sacrifices had to be made. And
it was scary. I mean, like, even though it was something that I knew I wanted to do, and financially we were saying like we're going to be in the same position regardless of what we do.
Right.
It was still scary regardless, but
yeah, I mean, it definitely is. And again, having that pressure on a marriage, and bringing in a young one as well, I'm sure was not an easy decision to make. So you mentioned you had a degree in graphic design. Do you still continue to do that now?
Yeah. I have a little side business.
Okay.
It's nothing that there's zero steady income with that. It's really just whatever I get. We kind of call it our fun money, in the moment. But yeah, so I'm still using it, not every single day, but definitely enough that it keeps my skills in that area.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I will attest that she is very good at that. So, but so in the middle of like a messy house and loud kids, when do you find yourself thinking, I wouldn't trade this for anything? Do you find yourself
Yes.
saying that?
I mean, multiple times a day.
Yeah.
Um, it's funny because in the the very amazing moments when everything's going smoothly, everybody's happy, everything's going well. Um, in those moments, it's easy to go to that thought. But even I'll have to stop myself sometimes in the very frustrating and chaotic and I'm ready to pull my hair out moments where I'm like, okay, no, like this is what I want. Like I wouldn't want to be. I
Right.
want to be here dealing with this stuff and not even dealing with it, but like I'm blessed that I'm the one who gets to handle
Right.
this. You know.
Right. Absolutely. Um, it is, like I said, a very hard decision to do that. And not everybody, like you said,
Yeah.
has that ability or
Right.
whatever. What would you say to maybe someone that's kind of in the same situation with you and really struggling trying to make that decision? What kind of advice would you give to them about that?
Um, I would tell them just to do it. Because it's as cliche as it is, the days are long, but the years are short,
Mhm.
and your kids are only that little for
I can relate.
yeah for
Yeah.
sometimes it feels like forever, but there's points even now like Klaus is almost 7, Louis is almost 3, where I'm like, how in the heck are
Right.
we here already? And I'm very blessed to have been able to witness all those little moments and all those little ages and
Right.
whatever and stuff. So I would say, even though it is scary and it can be intimidating, and for multiple reasons, like do it anyways
Yeah.
because you're not going to get that time back.
You had mentioned something about at one point, do the scare,
Do it scared.
do it
Yeah.
scared. That was it.
Yeah.
And, that's a pretty impactful
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
because doing anything in life that you're scared about,
Yeah.
you always try to talk yourself
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah. I was
So,
gonna say you can apply that to really any area of your life. It
right,
has good benefits on the other side of it, but like your kids, like do
right,
it scared. Like
right. I
you know.
like that.
Yeah.
That's a good, I like that phrase. Um, so, when you finally get those rare moments, what do you think about when you're not thinking about your kids, or are you always thinking
Yeah,
about them?
I don't think there's a moment I'm not thinking
Yeah.
about them.
I mean, as a
Um,
parent, I would
yeah,
say that's probably
I think
true.
maybe as I get older and they get older, it might not be as constant,
Hmm.
but I think because they are so young right now, like there's there's not a moment that I'm not, whether it's like what are they doing right now? Are they safe right now? Are they okay right now? Or even if it's just like how did I do with them today? Or then too just like thinking about future stuff, even if it's not so much like the deep future stuff, but like doctor's appointments or
Right.
school stuff, homework, like whatever and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's constant.
Right. Yeah. And parents out there, you guys all can relate to that. Like
Yeah.
your mind doesn't turn off
No.
no matter what age they get.
Yeah.
You're constantly thinking about them. And so one of the things I wanted to bring up too, whenever you were saying about Klaus being in school and stuff, is things that you have to and parents your age have to go through that parents our age, my age, didn't
Hmm.
have to deal with.
Yeah.
And it's like we had fire drills
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And just recently they had an active shooter,
Yeah. They call it a lockdown drill.
a
Yeah.
lockdown drill, which to me is just, something I didn't have to deal with
Yeah.
that you guys have to
Yeah.
deal with on an
No.
everyday basis. How do you handle that? Like, how do you not just jump into and say, you know what, I'm going to homeschool?
Yeah. I've had that thought quite a few times. I'm very reliant on my faith and prayer. And I'm very grateful to have a husband who's very grounded in that as well. Because there were a few moments where they would have like the lockdown drills and stuff. And
Hmm.
um, of course, like you're imagining your child practicing for that stuff. So you're envisioning it all
Right.
and everything.
Yeah.
And it makes me sick to even think about it, even just a practice thing.
Right.
I just remember a couple of times telling Eric, I'm like, I'm already stay at home mom. I'm just going to homeschool. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care how frustrating things are. I don't care if he doesn't listen to me. I'm going to homeschool.
Right.
And he had said, he's like, okay, but are you making this choice out of fear? Or if it's, and quickly realized, no, I'm making it out of fear.
Right. Yeah.
And being that I am relying on my faith, God tells us he doesn't give us a spirit of fear. So that's not from him. So unless he tells me to homeschool, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's I mean it's still hard, but
Oh,
it's definitely
absolutely.
I rely a
Yeah.
lot on my
Yeah,
trust
and
in him.
it's funny because I was talking to a young man at my works, and his baby's like, I don't know, 8 months old.
Yeah.
And I just you just wonder, like, what does he have to deal with
Yeah, yeah.
when they get,
Right.
and stuff like that. So, but let's go back to the stay-at-home mom and stuff like that. So sometimes people will think it's like this glamorous life, and that it's kind of like you're really, let's say, vacation every
Yeah.
day. How do you stop that stereotype?
Well, one, it's not. It's definitely a lie. Um, it is nice to be home and it is a
Mhm.
blessing. Um, but so, like it being nice and being a blessing, all that stuff doesn't mean that it's not hard.
Right.
Um, like any time a parent is at home with their kids on the weekend, like it's you're still parenting, you know what I mean? Like it's still hard, it's still difficult and stuff, but that's never ending for stay-at-home moms. Um, but it's also, I mean, it's not a competition either. It's not, you
Right.
know,
True.
working moms don't have it harder. Stay-at-home moms don't have it harder. They're just different hearts.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So we kind of talked about the financial side of it, how hard that was.
Hmm.
And how do you and Eric handle that situation,
Yeah.
with him working full
Hmm.
time, you working full time as a stay at home
Yeah.
mom?
Yeah.
How do you guys balance your life
Hmm.
together?
Like married, like as a couple.
Yes.
We try to have date nights when we can. They're not often like to going out. Um, but we do make sure we have at least 2 nights a week that we set aside that we,
Okay.
even if it's just staying home, that
Yep.
like we're on the couch together watching a show, like connecting over that, like bonding in that way. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you have to do that. And
Yeah.
with being a stay at home mom, like, you really don't ever get a break,
No.
per
Yeah.
se.
Yeah.
So with that being said, has there ever been a time where you've went and got groceries, or had your break to go, like, to the store? Have you
Hmm.
ever just sat in the car for like 10, 15
Yeah.
minutes and just been like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
without rushing home?
Not so much sitting in the car waiting, but I will just take my sweet time in the store.
Okay.
Um, and because like I've seen posts or things on social media where it's like, you know, taking a shower alone or like going to the grocery store and running errands by yourself isn't a luxury or isn't a vacation, but it can feel that way to a stay-at-home mom because like,
Right.
you know, and those aren't luxuries, but they really do feel like it sometimes because
Right.
you're never by yourself. Like,
Right. Yeah. I mean, I get that. Like,
yeah,
people that work full time, and like you said, it's not a competition,
no,
but they do get like their
yeah,
breaks
I
or
think
their lunch. And
the way that I view it too is like as a mom, because we are thinking of our kids nonstop regardless.
Mhm.
We don't ever really get a break from our kids, but
Right.
like
Yeah.
physically, stay-at-home moms do not get a break.
Yeah.
And like, yes, working moms, they go to work, they're still thinking about their kids and stuff, but you're still kind of how do you say it? Can't say
Uh,
the word.
com- um, oh my, I know what you're trying to
Yes,
say.
like I can't
Yeah.
say the word. I don't know what you mean,
So
but like
if you guys know the word that we're trying to say, drop it in the comments.
compartmentalize,
Yeah.
whatever the word is.
Yes.
But like they're able to like yes, things can still be chaotic with still having breaks from things. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
taking your kids to school before work. Yes, it's still chaotic. You're still rushing, whatever, and you get to work. You're doing your job. Like the days don't stop for anybody. It's
Right.
always going and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it's just like if you were at work 24/7, you would
Right.
want a break from it sometimes.
Well,
You would want, you know what I
absolutely.
mean? So it's the same thing as like a stay-at-home mom. Like yes, they're my kids and I love them, but like I'm with them 24/7. Like
Right.
there's no
Yeah.
break. I don't get to drop them off somewhere and then drive to work and kind of like take
Right.
a breath before work or like same with work being stressful and then taking a break before I go pick or breath before I go pick them up. Like I
Yeah.
don't get that
Right.
at all.
So with that being said, how do you handle that guilt?
Yeah,
Sometimes, I mean, you have to say you
feeling
feel
like
a
I need a
little,
break.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you feel guilty that you want
Yeah.
that break,
Yeah. I try to just remind myself that like even I don't know, like there's always everybody needs breaks from things that are even good.
Right.
And you know, like I love chocolate, but if I eat chocolate 24/7, I'm gonna get sick. My body's
Well,
gonna need a
true
break from it,
statement.
you know?
Yeah,
But like so things like that.
absolutely.
And like obviously you can't compare your kids to chocolate, but like
Yeah,
I love them so much that I think too, I just think like I love them so much that they need a mom who is mentally
right.
there, you
Hmm.
know, and not burnt out all the time. So sometimes when I get to the point where I realize I need a break, I also am telling myself I'm doing this for them because if I
Right,
don't have this break right now, they're going to get the stressed out mom and they're going to get the overwhelmed mom and the one who snaps and gets, you know,
right.
less
Yeah,
patient quicker.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. So what is one thing you think every stay-at-home mom should stop apologizing for?
Stop saying that you're just a stay-at-home mom and stop apologizing even just to yourself or to your husband or whatever that like you're not doing anything to contribute to the family because
Gotcha.
even if it's not financial you are still contributing like
Right.
you know like
Yeah. And I can say from with Eric not being here, her
yeah
husband, that he's pretty good about that.
yes yeah
Not saying you're just
no he's always been very supportive and encouraging of me being
mhm,
a stay-at-home mom and not just to me but like I'll hear him whether I'm there or overhearing it from afar like he talks me up about being a stay-at-home mom and he's very appreciative of me being a stay-at-home mom and he doesn't ever make me feel like you know yeah she's just at home with the kids you know
yeah.
like he's very supportive of it yeah
That's great. Yeah. And that's huge with making that decision that you
yes
have that supportive partner
yes
that,
yeah
is with you through
yeah
all of that.
yeah
And so Eric does work from home.
yeah
How hard is that? Because I know in this day and age, a lot of people do work from home.
yeah
How do you guys handle? And I get that Klaus is in school, but like even during summer,
hmm
that they just want their dad. Like
yeah
how as I'm sure that's got to be hard on you
yeah
sometimes.
sometimes yeah I think just so Eric he did work out in Pittsburgh and then when COVID happened Klaus was only 6 or 7 months old
Okay.
and that's when he started working from home and then they just decided to keep that department you know at home and stuff so I think it was just that's all they've known
Right.
is him working from home
Okay.
um and his office isn't anywhere where we can see him. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
Right.
he's right there. He can
Yeah.
hear us. We can hear him
Yeah.
sometimes. But I think for the kids sometimes it's almost out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
And it's been so normal now in our house that they don't
Right.
really
That it's
yeah.
just normal for
Yeah.
them.
For now it's really just like every once in a while we can hear him laughing like
Yeah.
on a phone call or something and Louis will say, "Do you hear that, Daddy?" But then like that's about it. But like
Aw.
yeah.
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 Well, with being like I know full-time people that work out in the workplace
Yeah.
get sick days or get vacation days and
Yeah.
stuff. How do you handle when you get sick? Like how
Yeah.
does that work?
Honestly, it's hard. That's where it's hard too. And again, not in a competitive way, but like we don't get the stay-at-home moms. There are no sick days. There are no
Right.
breaks for that kind of stuff. So it's hard because you either have to just like push through it, and
Right.
um, I am blessed in the way where Eric can sometimes, and
Hmm.
that's where it's hard though too, because then when I'm sick, I have to rely on my husband to hopefully be able to take time off
Right.
from his job
True. Yeah.
so that I can hopefully try to rest or relax or whatever. Um, but that's not always the case, and sometimes that is where it's hard too, where it affects everybody else in the sense
Hmm.
where sometimes if I'm too sick and Eric can't take time off, then Klaus might have to miss school, you
Right.
know, and like
Yeah.
obviously, I think that's only happened once, maybe twice in between kindergarten and first grade, and that's when it's been like
And I know that
bad.
was a
But
struggle for you
yes,
too
and then I feel
sometimes.
guilty in that way too, where I'm like, you know, I try to remind myself too, he is still young enough where he's not missing like anything
Hmm.
substantial, you know, for like a day. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah. I'm sure that is very hard. Um, so we talk about treasure in the chaos, but some days just feel like a mess. Um, we kind of already went over it, but what do you do for yourself
Mhm.
that is kind of like a little treat for you, like throughout the day?
Yeah. I don't know. Throughout the day, it's hard because as a stay-at-home mom, like your whole life and everything you do is like revolves around them.
Yeah.
You know. Um. because I'm like when Louis naps, like I'll try to um he's still very much a contact napper, so even
Mhm.
that, like, I'm kind of confined to the
Right.
couch or
Yeah.
the chair in that
Yeah.
moment. Um, but like I'll try to just, like watch a show or do something creative to kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes just got to veg out too,
Yeah, yeah.
just kind of just mentally
Yeah.
just,
And that's where it's hard
you
too,
know,
because like I'll sit on the couch with him or the chair or whatever, and it feels amazing to be able to have that time with him and cuddle him and whatever, because I know that's not going to last forever. But then it's also that guilty feeling of like I should be doing something, I should be cleaning the house, I should be doing the laundry, I should be making
right.
sure appointments are all good, like. So it's just like it's a mental battlefield sometimes, like
Right.
trying to treasure like this moment, but also like knowing.
So when you say that, how do you handle that?
Yeah,
Like, I know you're very much into your faith,
yeah.
and sometimes do you just are like, God, you got to take over
Yeah, so I mean, yeah,
sometimes.
there's definitely times where I'm like, please, just please, you need to work through me right now and handle the rest of the day,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
can't by myself. But
Right. Absolutely.
yeah,
So not only as a stay-at-home mom, like she talked about, like Kylie, is she does have a business on the side that she
mhm,
does part-time
yeah,
throughout it. She is also very active in her church.
yeah,
So you do have that during the week too.
yeah,
So do you do lesson plans for that, or how do you handle that to get
yeah,
ready for those
yeah.
days?
So I lead a freedom group at the church, and luckily with that, it's curriculum based, so there's not anything that I have to create or prepare for in that sense.
Okay.
But I do have to prepare in the sense of like, providing snacks for the group or making sure that everybody's aware of like where we're at in the
Mm.
work and all that stuff. So there's definitely like preparation for it. It's a lot of minuscule things that do add up.
Right.
Um, and as a leader of that group too, I also have to be doing the work to make sure that I'm on the same page with everybody else as well.
Right.
So there's like homework, that I'm also trying to find time for between everything. But
Right. So, in the midst of
yeah.
all of that as well, like you had mentioned earlier as well, is you have still have the housework.
Yes. Yeah.
You still have to, just do what everybody else does
Yeah.
that does have a full-time job
Right.
as well. Um, when do you find time to clean your house or do the dishes or,
um,
you
I
know,
very rarely do.
okay.
If I'm being honest, there's a lot of times I just have to pick and choose. Like, not everything's getting done today. Like,
Yeah.
we're not gonna have a clean house and full cooked meals and happy kids and happy like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
some days things do work out in that way, but a lot of times I just have to remind myself that like those things will get done, and
Yes.
as long as the house isn't like disgust, you know what I mean? Like, as long as it's not like
Right.
disgusting, like,
What your
like
what your grandma used to say
it
is,
can be messy but not dirty.
yeah, you
Like,
can have a messy house,
yeah.
but not a dirty
Yes.
house,
Yeah.
which for me, when you kids were little, and now I see it with my grandchildren, it's like you walk in and it's like
Yeah.
there's toys
Yes.
everywhere and
Yeah.
everything like that. And I remember thinking to myself, this is the messy side of it.
Yes.
It's not dirty,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just messy.
Yes. Yeah.
And so for you as well,
Mhm.
like in your house, without giving too much away,
Yeah.
is you don't have a dedicated like playroom.
Yeah.
So your playroom is
The
the
living
whole
room, the
house,
house.
really,
Yeah. Yeah.
and stuff. So
It's
um
overwhelming.
have you taught your kids the responsibility of
Mhm.
cleaning up?
Yeah.
Because it
I
is
mean, I try to. I mean, they are still kids, so
right.
I try to make it reasonable for their ages and stuff.
Sure.
Now that Klaus is almost 7, like we're getting him into more of a routine of if you get something out
Hmm.
before you get the next thing out, put that away.
Right.
Depending on I mean, he builds with magnetile, so sometimes there's a very specific thing that he has built that is
Right.
going to be up all day,
Understandable.
but
Yeah. Yeah. So they always say it takes a village to raise a child.
yes.
Who is your village?
Well, first is definitely my husband.
Absolutely.
Couldn't do anything without him, really. But then the grandparents.
Hmm.
Honestly, nobody else really watches the kids other than the
Okay.
grandparents and stuff in the church.
Yeah.
So definitely,
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely takes a village for
yeah,
sure. I mean, you do as much as you can, but
yeah,
it's like it takes more than that.
yeah.
So if you could sum up, because the title of this episode is Treasuring the Chaos, and we all can relate. So in 3 words, how would you sum up Treasuring the chaos.
3 words.
Yeah. Kind of a tough one,
Yeah.
huh?
Well, it's a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's number 1.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know if I have 3 words. It's just like, it's just all just.
Treasuring the chaos to me would be, like you say, blessing, the love,
Yeah.
and the understanding.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because you really have that from your kids and your husband
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So let's see. I have my notes here. You know, I always am flipping through. We're going to get better at this, I promise, people. So I just wanted to make sure that we're getting the story out to everybody. And if you're kind of going through this, hopefully it resonates with you.
Yeah.
What's a small invisible win that you had this week, would you say?
Choosing to be patient instead of acting or reacting out
Okay.
of, frustration, for sure.
Sure. I'm sure that's hard to do.
Yes. Yeah.
Very hard.
Yes.
As a stay-at-home mom or any parent,
Yeah.
I'm going to say you have to learn that virtue of patience, you know, and
sometimes even just like taking my own advice for what I'm trying to get, like teaching my kids to be patient, teaching my kids to always be kind, and like all that kind of stuff. Like sometimes having to,
right.
preach that to myself.
Yeah. Yeah. So would you say, how has your personality changed as a stay-at-home mom? Would you say you're more patient, or do you have more of a fiery side in you? Like, have you found like
Probably more of a fiery side.
more of a fiery
Yeah.
side?
I will say I've grown more confident
Okay.
because I feel like I've really stepped into like who I was created to be. Like I
Okay.
really feel like I was created to be a mom.
Yes. Which I
but-
think I read in one of your things that says that brought you closer to Jesus.
Yeah. That was ultimately when I had Klaus. I had pretty bad postpartum anxiety. Which is another topic, but like I didn't even realize that was a thing because people always talk about postpartum depression.
Right.
But I hit a very low with postpartum anxiety, and it obviously was brought on from being a mom.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what brought me to a deeper relationship.
A deeper relationship. Absolutely. So that could be another topic we talk about too, because I think that's a very real thing that people go through. And like you said, you weren't realizing that that's what you were going through. So we'll maybe dive deeper into that in another one.
Yeah.
So,
but the fiery side.
The fiery side.
Yeah, I do want to mention because I've always been kind of, I don't know, known as, but like the more quiet and reserved.
Absolutely.
And, calm, like whatever, which I still am to an extent, but one, growing the confidence has kind of brought out more of not so much the reserved and quiet. But when it comes to parenting, like I definitely, there's sometimes like I didn't realize, like you always try to picture like what you would be like as a mom, or who you mean, like there are times where like I am like I didn't think that I'd be the mom sometimes that was like, well, if you would listen to me, that wouldn't have happened. Like I thought I would always be like it's fine, like talking it out, and then I do talk things out and like whatever and stuff. But there are times where I hit a limit where I'm like, wouldn't have happened if you would have just listened to me.
Yeah. That's her mom coming out in her, people. So, I always like to have a question at the end, and so as in, if you could sit down with anyone, living or deceased, who would it be, and what would you ask them? Maybe it's someone from the Bible, even. Who would it be?
Well, I feel like a go-to answer would be Jesus, but I can talk to him whenever I want. So, outside of the Bible, probably Grammy.
Grammy,
yeah.
Okay. And what would you ask her? What would be something that you would?
Well, one, I mean, like I struggle with 2 kids sometimes. Like she had 6.
Yes.
And yeah. Did she work when you guys were younger? I know she did later.
She did not work that I remember until I got older. And then she did whenever I was like in high school and stuff like that. But she definitely was always at home and stuff like that.
So I mean more so just like how did she do it? What I mean? But I think also just having that like grandmotherly advice too in that way. Like I have my nanny who I do, go to with that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Grammy passed when I was 8, so just to have that conversation.
So just to have that conversation with her. Well, before we go, and I want to thank you, Kylie,
Mm-hmm.
for sharing your chaos and your heart
Yeah.
with us
Yeah.
today. But before we go, I always like to do what I call mug shots. And so, what mug shots are, if you haven't listened to my podcast, and you should, is I will give you a quick question, or I'll give you a question. I want you to answer it as quick as you can
Okay.
and as short as you can.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not good with the short, but we'll try.
We're going to do our best here, people. So, the first one is, what is your secret snack that you eat when the boys aren't looking?
M&M Keebler M&M cookies.
Keebler M&M cookies. If your house had a danger zone, which room would it be today?
The living room.
The living room.
Yes.
Spilled juice or a clogged toilet?
Spilled juice or a clogged toilet? Spilled juice.
Spilled juice.
Yeah.
What is the one sound in your house that makes you stop and smile?
Either of my kids laughing, but definitely both of them laughing together.
Laughing.
Yeah.
Oh, I would agree to that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Matching socks are close enough.
Close enough. I don't have time for that.
Absolutely close enough. Favorite kids show that you like to watch?
Bluey.
Bluey.
Yeah.
Dry shampoo or a hat?
A hat.
Okay.
100%.
Would you prefer a solo bathroom break or an uninterrupted shower?
Uninterrupted shower.
Yeah. So mom, mummy, or mama?
Mommy
Mm-hmm.
or mama.
Okay.
I'm fine with mom too, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. We like the
I like
mummy and the
mommy or
mama.
mama. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Leggings or jeans?
Jeans.
Jeans.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, no, like leggings are still more. See, I can't go short.
Sure, you can. Go ahead.
Leggings are still more comfortable, but
Yeah.
like I'm not as comfortable in leggings like I used to be
Sure.
before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so jeans, I guess.
Jeans. Okay. Scented candle or fresh air?
Fresh air.
Perfect. I like that. And you do definitely, that is one thing you do a lot with your children,
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah.
is
I
take
try to
them
have them out
outside. Yeah.
all the time. Yeah.
Beach or the swimming pool?
Swimming pool.
Okay. If the boys got really quiet, would you cherish that moment or would you wonder what's going on?
What's going on?
No kidding. Two boys,
Yes.
I would say that too. So, well, thank you again, Kylie, for being here and sharing your chaos. And I will say you're one of my most beautiful chaoses.
Oh, well,
So, and again, this has been a special edition.
Yeah.
Thanks to Kylie Vigas, my beautiful daughter. I hope that this episode resonates with you. And if it does, please be sure to share this to a fellow mom that can relate.
Yeah.
And as always, like I like to say, keep those mugs full and the conversations warm. Again, if you like this episode, be sure to like it, share it, and comment. And if you haven't subscribed, please do, because that is the way that you can hear all these great stories and other people can hear them as well. So thank you from the Talking Mug.